What's up, everybody? It's another video at the Ideal Auto Factory, and today we're going to do a one take on my Rhino Racing Shark with the Ford GT body. If you don't know, a one take is pretty much me making an attempt at giving you one video without any edits, except for the one where I transition to the flip the script. One video without any edits, displaying exactly what the title says and nothing more and nothing less. So I'll try not to ramble and I'll give you a good video. Here we go. There it is, the Ford GT Shark. Boom, bam, pow, wham. All right, let's get started. First up, Scale Dynamics super offset wheels. These things are right at home on this car. Very minimal wheel poke, and in the back they just tuck. You don't even hear them, just tuck. And next we have the actual body, HPI Ford GT, and I sprayed it with Createx purple metallic paint. I'm gonna adjust the brightness here a little bit so you guys can see a little better. All right, next up we're gonna talk about a sticker kit. So every piece on here, detailed, laid out on the sticker sheet from HPI, and it is flawless. I laid them on flawless, they all look good. The only things I added were the actual body lines. So the body lines right here on the door, on the rear, I think there's one on the side, because it's pretty much a unibody. I probably could have added one there. I wonder if I added on, yep, I added it on the other side. Yep, there it is. So still a work in progress, as you can see, but majority of it is done, and I have a blast driving it. It's one thing for me to try and rush and finish this, but it's another thing when you just enjoy it along the way. And you put the time in when you can put the time in to make the project become a finished project. Yeah, we all know it never ends, right? So we have I believe these are DRC wheels. No, these are top line wheels. Really like the top line wheels. Don't know which version they are, but I really like these wheels. I got them from Street Brake in Florida, and I just kept them on there, and they've been great, even on my garage floor. Highly suggest you try out some top lines, even if they're not the spec tire where you are. They are great. Front lip, look at that. We get low, guys. It gets really low. We do this. It's got a little bit of damage there, but that's what you do when you're drifting. You gotta drive it. Centerpiece, the IFS in the front is totally amazing. Literally the only reason why I opted to just do something like this. I wanted something different. I wanted to try something completely different, and I was able to achieve it with this body being different and the suspension being different as well. We still got plenty of bounce in the front. Barely any compression on that front, but we got compression there. Not much needed. And then when we lift up, we got a lot of room there. But look at that. As we take this body off, we're gonna talk about this bump steer, because it is crazy. So I'm gonna take the body off. All right, up front, we have almost parallel suspension arms. Pretty close, but not exact. We have Rev D knuckles, custom anodized by the previous owner. Rev D lower and upper arms, custom anodized as well, because this stuff only comes in black. Found that out, and then I messaged them and was like, oh shoot, it's pretty cool though. And then the IFS, I would love to switch that up to where it's not a triangle like this, but I know that means I would have to adjust something on the exterior, so I just leave it like this. And look at that bump steer. I mean, it's insane. Bump steer is crazy on this thing. Any tips on how to fix that would be great. As we move on along, you already know how I got this IFS to work on here. We have MST FXX IFS kit, and I use these again. Don't know what they're called, but I use those again, and the actual other piece that's in the kit to make it work. Then we have it zip tied. Yes, plan on 3D printing something really amazing for the front, or you know, if Super G, you know, just wants to just throw me a front IFS kit that they'll be making in purple, of course, and I would love that too. But that zip tie right there keeps this down because there's only one screw in there, because there's only one hole right there to make this work. So definitely would love something else, but I also have a 3D printer so I can make something too. Just don't have the time right now, and this works perfect and it does the job. As we get into more of the front end, we've already talked about the knuckles, the arms, and everything else. We also have custom front body mounts. This is a standoff from Amazon. These are 2 of them. I bought those off Amazon. I bought like a pack of 15 or something like that. But either way, I got those off Amazon. Amazon or eBay for standoffs make great body magnet kits. You don't have to buy the body magnet kit. I mean, you can, but you get what I'm saying. If you want to get custom, you got to get custom and get creative. So next, we'll talk about the servo. This servo is so fast and strong, and it beeps when it starts. Let me do that right now. Let's see if it'll beep without the remote connected to it. Let's see. Let's see if it makes the noise. Nope, doesn't make the noise. Let me get the remote really quick. I'll show you. I'll probably speed up through this part. So, you know what? Nope, not speeding up. It's a OneTAKE, guys. So let's do that. I'm gonna select it. Shark. It's on the Shark now, so it should make the beep sound. Yep, that's the beep. Will it beep again? Yep, so that's the beep. The reason why it beeps is it's a smart servo. It has an actual gyro in it. Notice you don't see a gyro? Yeah, that's because inside the actual servo. One is something different yet again. So the whole front end is all about being different. And I wanted something clean to make its way back there. So I have a gyro-less chassis, you should say. Gyro is in the servo, and I just run 2 wires. This is the channel 3 and the channel 1 wires all the way in here. 2 JSTs come off of there and go into the receiver. Next up, DDSS. Really awesome thing. Let's check that acronym out really quick. Really awesome, user-friendly acronym right there. Didn't want to get crazy with the lock. But as you can see, I got some angled things right there. I have angled rod ends or ball cups, however you want to say it. And that is pretty much the front end of the Rhino Racing Shark here at the Ideal Auto Factory. As we move further back, there's my receiver. Definitely one of the things I really wanted to respect is the actual cleanliness of the wiring. I could make it a little cleaner, but I decided not to. I wanted functionality and also be able to adjust things whenever I wanted to pull something out. So you gotta leave a little room for being able to pull stuff out. Can't make it a permanently tight fit. So we have front suspension, servo. We have the receiver here. As we move further back, we're gonna get into the wheelbase. It's as close as you can get it. And as you can see, that body fits really well with this wheelbase. Another awesome part of the chassis is the adjustable wheelbase and the adjustable flex. But I just noticed that I don't have a screw over there. What is up with that? I don't have a screw right there. I'll fix that soon enough. Either way though, I have mostly all the screws at the bottom, so a zero flex chassis, you should say. And there's purple, right? Yep, there's purple lock nuts under the bottom, and for the actual, I don't even know what this is called. What is this? Don't know, but I have purple for that as well. As we get further back, you have the battery that always shows up. It shows out the ProTech 4800 mAh battery, LIHV, and a Gen 1 OMG 10.5T motor. I had to resolder, so this used to be over there for all three. I had to resolder inwards so that this could fit at the perfect angle for this to work. It still hits ever so slightly. There it is. Yep, it still hits. That's where it hits at, right there. Though you see that purple? That's the spot that it hits. So the motor still hits right here, but this is the best angle I could get. Another sacrifice, I guess. Some people want the motor way back there and the ESC right in front of that. This is the sacrifice on this chassis to make that body work. That body and this chassis together is just going to be iconic for me. I never want to change up the body on this or anything. It's all about making this body look the best on this chassis, and this chassis being different. Next, we have the spur and pinion. The spur and pinion on this, we have 84, and this is about 18 or 17, can't remember right now. And then that's a 3-gear trans. Somebody can tell me more about this, but I think it's a 4-gear trans because we got 3 gears. We got the spur gear, we got the idler, the bottom gear down there, and then the diff gear. So that's 4 gears in there, but I don't know if that's a 3 or a 4 gear transmission. And then if you look, I have this ESC set up with the switch right here. So this wasn't the original plan. I originally had it here and I liked it there, but the functionality was just a little off. So I put it back here. Back here, I'm losing the quick diff change functionality, you should say. But what I'm gaining is this low profile, very low down, like kind of like drift performance spec, with the ESC not being so high up. And I really like that. I really like the difference, not performance wise, but the difference that has made for this body being able to fit. The body, you have to put it on like this. You can't just drop the body on top. You have to make sure the diffuser clears that, and then you just lay the rest on. If I put a fan, I can't put a fan back here in the normal stock spot because it's too high. There's a lot of things you can't do. If you never ran an ESC without a fan, I suggest that you try it, unless you're going crazy on boost and things, because the ESC doesn't get that hot. That's a fanless rotor in here. The rotor does not have a fan, and this is a Gen 1, so it doesn't have a fan in it at all, and it still doesn't even get hot. So when you turn this thing on, you don't hear anything but that beep. You will never know it's on unless you actually like pull the trigger or something. The coolest thing ever is that this stays cool. It's cool because it stays cool. Up next, we can talk about yet one of the most, I don't want to say controversial, but I could say something that's always unique on this chassis is the way people mount that camber link. Because the suspension in the rear is a little tight. The way everything has to connect is a little tight. You got your axle here. Look at where the actual damper is. You can move this up here, but you need a really long standoff if you want to move this to be in front of the arm. It's still in the rear of the arm over here, and it's pretty parallel there as well. But my camber link That's the one I went a little unique on. I got it sitting out from the actual rear knuckle with that Amazon turnbuckle in purple. So I have that going on. And I have MST soft springs in the rear. One of the harder soft springs, but I have soft springs in the rear. And the big bores as well. I had a pretty anti-squat setup, and it still works. It sways left to right a little bit, but nothing crazy. And that's because of the grip on these tires. I think that about covers this chassis. Other than these arms, which I'm not really into Yokomo things, but these arms are amazing. That being able to adjust the width right there with some spacers in there, woo, that's pretty cool. Those spacers right there in black over there to make that wider, oh my gosh, that's amazing. It's really amazing. I do plan to get some metal rear hubs and anodize them purple, unless I can find some purple ones right now without doing any of that, because I just want to complete that purple look. I mean, you go up front and it's purple all the way. Why not go back here and it's purple all the way? If I could find some purple rod ends, I'd do that too. But that's something that not a lot of people pay attention to. But this chassis has so much potential. It is doing everything it's supposed to do for me. And I love being able to say that it is a 4GT that can drift. And I thoroughly enjoy everything about it. That rear end, oh my gosh. It just, I mean, look at it. It's so perfect. It is like literal like heaven back there. And I'm going to put some amazing things right here, being that I have a resin 3D printer. I'm going to do some, we got some plans. We got some good plans for this. So that about wraps it up for this. I may have forgot some things, but it's as in-depth as I can get with it. Somebody hooked me up on some info on bump steer. I would greatly appreciate it. But this has been another video in the Ideal Auto Factory on the Purple 4GT Rhino Racing Shark YD2. Y'all keep God first, and I'll catch you on the next video.